Welcome into McWhorter Stadium in beautiful Clemson, South Carolina. The Bryant Bulldogs taking on the number 4 ranked Clemson Tigers as part of the Clemson Classic that'll be going on all weekend long. Beautiful weather today. Mark Childress here with Scott Whitlock. Should be a fun one this afternoon.
Ought to be a lot of fun. Great day of weather. We didn't know if we were going to get, to go on time today, but we are, and looking forward to this tournament this weekend.
I'm looking forward to the tournament. I'm also looking forward to seeing these two players this afternoon. Let's start with the Bryant Bulldogs and Jenna Gardner.
Yep, she's hitting almost 350, leads the team in home runs, leads the team in RBIs, and she does it from the leadoff position.
For the Clemson Tigers, it is Maddie Moore. She had herself a night earlier this week.
She had herself a fantastic night on Wednesday night. A pair of home runs, played some great defense. She is really coming into her own in her sophomore season.
Bryant will be batting first today as the visiting team. Gardner, Smith, Hudson due up in the first inning. Fitzgerald, Marcel, Paolo Antonio, Cochran, McAloon, and Fee. Head coach Nick French hoping the Bryant Bulldogs can find a way to take down the Clemson Tigers. And in the circle for Clemson, Reagan Spencer.
Yes, Reagan Spencer does a little bit of everything for this Clemson pitching staff. Closes, the long relief, and she has started 2 games already this year. It's just great to see her get a chance to get a full start and get a good workout in here this afternoon. Incidentally, she has the lowest ERA on the team.
And that's saying something with this crew.
Yes.
For sure. The pitching staff, a 0.71 overall ERA so far this season. Part of the reason the Tigers are ranked number 4 in the country. 8 games in the Clemson Classic over 2 days. 2 games have been taken place already. Bryant lost earlier today to Jacksonville 4-2, and then UNC Greensboro beat Jacksonville 3-0. So this is the first game that the Tigers are playing in the Clemson Classic.
Yeah.
Reagan Spencer misses with their first. Temperature 67 degrees. Wind has been whipping around, a lot of times blowing out towards left field. That's where it's blowing right now. That one's off of the glove of Davenport down into the left field corner. We talked about Jenna Gardner in the pregame. She starts with a leadoff double.
And that ball was hit like a rocket. It hung and it was up in the zone, and Gardner turned on it. Davenport got a glove on it, but really didn't have an honest chance to catch that. That should go as a double, and it will.
It was almost self-defense. It got down there so quick.
That ball was hit very hard, very hard.
So the exact start that the Bulldogs wanted to get. And Olivia Smith will come to the plate for Bryant.
Now, how big would it be for Bryant to get a run here early? So you would think that Smith would be trying to either hit the ball to the right side of the infield or to get a bunt down. We'll see how the Tigers play it.
Lays down the bunt and it slides foul. 0-2.
Yeah, she's kind of crippled herself there in the batter's box. 0-2 count. Reason being, as everybody knows, foul ball on a bunt attempt with 2 strikes is an out.
So Smith's only had 4 at-bats this season. 3 hits, batting a cool .750. That's nice.
Yes, it is.
Get a peek over there at Nick French. Again, would love to strike first against this powerful Clemson team. Smith slaps one foul.
If you're going to be able to stay in a game with Clemson in most cases, now we have seen Tennessee shut out Clemson this year 1-0. But usually if you're going to go toe-to-toe with Clemson, you're going to have to score some runs because this Clemson lineup usually produces a lot of runs.
It's hit right up the middle off of Spencer's glove. And Moore does a good job of grabbing it and keeping it in the infield, and that keeps Gardner at third base. But a couple of hits off of the gloves of Clemson players, and Bryant has something cooking here.
Yeah, this ball was not hit as hard as the first one, but it was hit hard enough. Got right by Spencer, and again, Maddie Moore all the way over on the shortstop side smothers that ball, or else we have a 1-0 ball game. Now, Bryant has really got something going here.
Alex Hudson, who had a hit in her game earlier today. Double steal, throw to the plate, and they miss the tag. Couldn't come up with it, so Jenna Gardner steals home, and Bryant's up 1-0.
Yeah, just that quick, and with nobody out and a runner on second. The throw was a little high from Logaleo to the plate. JoJo Hyatt went up, but she kind of looks like almost she lost her location. Like she was really kind of away from it, but I really think it had a lot to do with the throw. I think the throw really took her off the location she needed to be to make the tag.
So kind of a strange start. Again, a couple of hard hit balls, but they went off the gloves of defenders. They both went as hits. The double steal that the Tigers had sniffed out could not convert, though, defensively, and Bryant's got the early 1-0 lead.
Isn't it funny how much of this game gets down to throwing and catching?
It is. What
I mean by that is an errant throw by a beautifully executed job done on the double steal. You got a safe call out second base on throw behind. But the game of throw and catch had a lot to do with Bryant scoring that run. Just keeping things simple. Watch this snap throw down to second. And she just got back.
It was close. Yeah, Scott, to continue on that theme, there really is no margin for error as close as the bases are together, as quick as the ball's making it around. I'm just always impressed that even just the slightest hesitation, the slightest, double clutch can have a big impact on a game.
And you want to give a shout out to Bryant coming in here and being aggressive early. I mean, they just came in here and got after it. I mean, one of the first pitches we see was just ripped down the left field line. Then they go up there and they get the hit up the middle, and they execute the double steal.
It's just the second earned run Spencer's given up all season in over 16 innings pitched. Davenport grabs this one, long throw. Cagle throws back over to third, and that's going to be a double play, so a fantastic defensive play. Doubles up Smith for the final out of the inning, but Bryant gets a couple of hits and a steal of home to take an early lead, 1-0 over the Tigers. Seen with you in public?
The guy on the right was my...
Tigers finding themselves in a rare position, down 1-0 early. Clark, Moore, and Cagle due up here in the first. Jacobson, Logaleo, Oda, Hyatt, Miklesh, and Davenport. Kylie Kenny in the circle for the Bulldogs.
3-2 on the year with a 3.50 ERA. She's going to be tested today with this batting order.
And she's got herself a lead. She's got to be happy about that, and that's 2 straight strikes to Mackenzie Clark. Clark comes in batting .379 on the season with 5 home runs and 15 RBIs. Junior criminal justice major. Clark would love to get on base. See if the Tigers can quickly get that run back. Take a look at John Rittman as well.
Yep. Clark, one of the most dynamic outfielders in the country. She's not a secret anymore, but I just think she's prolific.
Swings through that one, and a great start for Kylie Kenny.
I'm going to tell you what, Kylie Kenny had a little bit on that one and got it by Clark. You don't usually get one by her. That right there was just, yeah, she was late on that one. Up pitch.
Well, you've got a senior in the circle. She's been there and done that, so not intimidated going against these Tigers. We talked about Maddie Moore in the big week she's had already with 2 home runs earlier, the sophomore from California.
Yep, we've talked about her a lot this season. She has done a wonderful job since moving to second base.
Kind of an excuse me swing.
Yep.
1-1.
She spent the entire season, last season, over on the left side of the infield, played a lot of third base. Got off to a slow start offensively last year, but now she's above 300 in her hitting and playing great defense. There's your basic 28-footer.
And I think that one might have slipped out of Kenny's.
Yeah, it did.
But Kenny's hand.
Good rule of thumb, never hit a ball you need a golf club to hit.
Inside 3-1.
She's got some hop on her pitches, and she's just off the plate a little bit, but she's got plenty of velocity. It's my first time to my recollection of seeing Kenny work.
This is high and outside, and the Tigers have their first base runner of the day, courtesy of a walk. You see Kenny and McAloon as the battery, Fee, Smith, and Cochran out in the outfield, and then Hudson, Gardner, Paolantonio, and Marcel in the infield for the Bulldogs.
And one of the things that, if you're Kylie Kenny, the one thing you don't want to do is walk people, because just about everybody in the Clemson lineup can drive in runs.
That one goes between short and third, and Valerie Cagle does what she does.
Yep.
Gets on base, and the Tigers have got something cooking now here in the bottom.
They almost jammed her with this, but she muscled it out there between the third baseman and the shortstop, and it was an easy single. And now with one out, you got runners on first and second. You got Jacobson coming in. Jacobson, in her first season with the Tigers, after having a great career at Duke, her name is scattered all through the Duke record book, but she's come to play her graduate season down here. And I know that Coach John Rittman and the Tigers are very happy to have her. She's out there replacing Marissa Gombarda, and that is...
It's tough to do.
Yeah, well, you don't really replace her. You just play the position she used to.
Yes. That one bounces up there.
She's trying to keep the ball down on these power hitters, if you noticed. And I do think, as you said earlier, I think the ball is slipping out of her hand a bit right now.
I tell you, she doesn't waste any time.
No, she doesn't.
And this is inside 2-1. So you've got Maddie Moore on second via walk. Valerie Cagle with the single, the first hit of the game for the Tigers. And Jacobson with the hitter's count.
Yep. You're going to get something to swing at here.
Nice pitch in there, 2-2.
And she got fooled on that one. I think she was looking for something away, and that one caught the inside corner of the plate. I cannot believe how pretty it is this afternoon from the morning we woke up to.
That's beautiful. That was hit out toward right center field. Cochran, it's under it, makes the catch. Moore will make it over to third base. So you got runners on the corners now with 2 outs for Aaliyah Logaleo.
See right here, she does a good job tagging up. Gets in there with a show-off-ish slide.
So a hit will mean a run and a tie ball game if Logaleo can deliver, the junior from Nashville. And swinging a hot bat of late.
Again, to these right-handed hitters, she is working down and inside.
Logaleo second on the team with 20 RBI, behind Valerie Cagle with 24. It's in there, Cagle steals second base. The throw goes all the way into center field, and that makes it easy for the Tigers. Maddie Moore comes walking home, and the game is tied. Kind of surprised she threw down to second.
Oh, I was too. They, you know, it's like the softball gods. They giveth and they take away, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, you have no margin of error, and you do not want to just give a run back, and that just happened.
That'll go as an error on the catcher, and a high strike to Logaleo.
Yes.
Crowd didn't like it.
No, and
neither did she.
And we got about, every game, we got about 25, 30 umpires directly behind home plate, and they let you know what their opinion is.
That one's hit over the second baseman's head into right field. Cochran scoops it up. Throw comes home. Valerie Cagle will score. Aaliyah Logaleo with her 21st RBI of the season. Tigers have the lead back.
And I'll tell you what, I guarantee you, Logaleo is down there ecstatic about getting that hit to get that run in because it was her throw on the double steal.
That's right.
So I bet you there's a little vindication inside there. And just like that, again, with this fast break offense with the Tigers, they get the second run to take the lead. And you see Oda with the soft liner to second base to close things up in this inning.
Tigers get 2 runs and 2 hits. Benefit of an error. They're back on top as we head to the second. Headed back to the top of the second. You see UNC Greensboro. They won against Jacksonville earlier today in the Clemson Classic. They take on the Tigers at 5:30 in the nightcap here today. Look at the Tigers defense. You've got Spencer and Hyatt as the battery. McLeish, Clark, and Jacobson in the outfield. Davenport, Logaleo, Moore, and Cagle across the infield. For the Tigers, Reagan Spencer back in the circle. Now she's got a lead.
And she needs to give her team a shutdown inning right here. She needs to pitch clean. They need to play clean and get this team back in the dugout to try to score some runs and separate themselves.
Megan Marcel. So the second one, 1-1. But that was a great answer by the Tigers. You fall down early. Again, they haven't been behind much at all this season and immediately bounce right back with a 2 spot. It's kind of blooped over towards short. An easy play for Logaleo for out number 1.
And Clemson also in that first inning does what good teams do. And that is if somebody cracks the door open just a little,
yes,
they go through it. And you're going to see this little soft floater that Logaleo got back there on.
I might could have caught that one.
No problem.
You think?
I have confidence in you, yes. I'm going to say
I might have broken the wrong way.
I'm going to say you would have caught that.
I might have caught that one. Okay. Can't say that much out here, but
I'm not
that
going,
one.
No, I'm not willing to risk my life on it. But I would say, yes, you would have caught that.
Paolantonio. A swing she'd like to have back. She's quickly behind.
I was sitting here thinking just that myself. Oh, she really wishes she hadn't swung at that one.
Courtney, the junior from Maryland. She pinch hit in the game earlier today against Jacksonville and made an out. And she just made another quick out. That is the second strikeout now for Reagan Spencer. The off speed right on the outside corner.
Right on the outside corner. One thing you got to know about Reagan Spencer, she's around the plate. Now she throws the ground ball up there.
About to say, literally as you're complimenting her on always being around the plate.
Whatever it is out there, it's catching.
Hannah Cochran, the freshman. Spencer works quickly as well. She's evened up the count 1-1 and 2 quick outs here in the top of the second. Right after you said that's what she needed. A quick bounce back inning. Put the pressure right back on Bryant again. Get that offense back up for the Tigers.
Correct.
Big swing and a miss.
And Cochran is taking hacks at anything that leaves the hand up there. She took ball 1 very nice, and now she's finds herself in a hole 1 and 2, helping the pitcher by chasing pitches.
Swings through that one as well. So back-to-back strikeouts for Reagan Spencer. Just what the doctor ordered for the Tigers. We're off to the bottom of the second. Tigers up 2-1. Clemson softball on the ACC network Wednesday evening, hosting Charlotte. Sunday afternoon, not this Sunday, but the Sunday after, on March 19th, taking on Virginia. When you're the number 4 team in the country, they want to get you up on the big station as much as they can. And John Rittman's squad will be doing just that a couple of times here in the next week.
Old Johnny Ballgame was filling up the screen down there then. Got a good look in her. He's wearing his home orange.
Hyatt, McClesh, and Davenport due up for the Tigers. If anybody reaches, we'll go back to the top of the order. Clemson scored 2 in the first, looking to get some here in the second, and Hyatt didn't hit it hard, but nobody was there, and she's on base with a leadoff single.
She did a good job of just dumping one right there over the first baseman's head. JoJo Hyatt, who does a lot of dirty work for the Clemson Tigers. What I mean by that, she's a catcher. Sometimes she's a DH. Junior out of Buford, Georgia. Does a great job. And I think she's getting pinch ran for down there by Baumhart. Yep, I think it's
it is Baumhart.
That's Julia Baumhart. This is a job she does a lot for the Tigers. I think Coach Rittman has a rotation of, okay, who's the first pinch runner up?
Yeah.
Who's the second one? Who's the third one? And he uses his roster the entire game. He's not going to wait till the late innings.
Well, Baumhart is quick and maybe the fastest player on the team, McClesh, in the box. We've seen her reach by bunt a number of times this season.
Yeah.
If she can lay a bunt down, she's at first base. It's just about a given.
If she gets it down, and particularly if it goes out toward the pitcher at all.
Shows bunts. Baumhart, no throw down to second base. She's down there quickly. So we were just saying, lots of speed on the base paths. And Rittman has really been aggressive this year on the base paths with his team.
What you see right there is they had a play on for their bunt defense, and it vacated second base because the shortstop was breaking toward third, and she just outran the second baseman.
McClesh, told you.
Yep.
Gets a bunt down on the infield. She's safe.
If you see that ball take that second bounce, if you'll see right here on the replay if we have it, this ball takes that second bounce. She just outruns it.
Wasn't really even close.
No. Miklish transferred in here from the University of Wisconsin. You got to think she's probably enjoying this weather.
She may be off to second base here herself in just a second. Reedy Davenport steps in.
Didn't take that much time.
And she's down to second base. I believe that is either 3 or 4 stolen bases already for the Tigers.
Here's what we got right here. I really believe this. The first base umpire, Roger Potts, is going to consult with his crewmates because the shortstop made a decoy tag on a ball that was not thrown, and you cannot make those type of calls. I think they're going to. I think they're going to make a call on this. Let's see.
So what do you mean they can't? You can't fake?
See, there's no ball coming. If the ball was coming, she could go down there and do that. But the ball was held on by the catcher, and it's in the interest of safety, and some of these things are in place about not being able to fake out the base runner.
So now, what would the penalty be?
Well, I think you get a warning.
Okay.
And then if you do it again, you give them a base.
All right.
I think that's what happened. Now, I cannot, because he was immediate in wanting to talk to his crew.
Well, they've got it all sorted out. Scott, this is why I'm glad you're here with me.
Well, I have no idea that I'm right.
You've been doing a lot of softball over the years, so you're impossible to stump on some of these.
No, I'm not either. Oh, I'll have an opinion. It don't mean that it's right.
So now runners on second and third.
Violation of 10-10-5 with the ball.
Had a violation of the 10-second thing, so that's ball 1. 1-1 count.
We got weirdness all over the place this inning.
Yep.
And Davenport looks at strike 2.
Now it's 1-2. Or 2-1. Is it 1-2 or 2-1? They keep changing on me.
It's 1-2.
1-2.
0-1 before the automatic ball call.
Yep.
And then that strike. Davenport hits it back up the middle. 1 run will score. 2 Tigers will score. And they're on top 4-1. Reedy Davenport with a 2-run single.
Mark, we've talked about this before. When Clemson scores 1 run, they score 2 or 3. They put up crooked numbers very often here. And we've seen this now, and you know what? There's still nobody out. And you got the top of the order coming up. So Bryant needs to hold on tight right here, or this game could get out from their control in a hurry. They find themselves down 3.
3 straight hits. 2 runs have already crossed. Tigers have doubled their lead here in the bottom of the second. It's now 4-1. And like you said, back to the top of the order with Mackenzie Clark.
And you've got 3 or 4 consecutive hitters now with one pitch. You can just drive the ball right out of the ballpark and turn this thing into a 5-run game.
This is outside. Davenport over at first does have 1 stolen base this season. We know how fast Mackenzie Clark is. She can get out on the base paths. She had that triple last weekend in one of the games we were doing. She got to third base about the time before I could even say she was at third base. She was already there.
And you notice something, that because you brought the point up in the first inning. Kenny was working very fast in the first inning.
Yes.
And she was confident, and she was humming it in there. And now she's slowed down, and right on cue, she's getting a visit from the pitching coach. And that's Mary Karen Wheat in her first year. Nick French has been the head coach at Bryant. This is his 5th season.
It's a good time to come out and talk, right? You've already given up a couple of runs this inning, but you want to hold the Tigers where they're at. You don't want things, like you mentioned, to get away from you.
Right.
Suddenly you look up at 6, 7, 8-1, and then you're probably done at that point trying to come back against this team.
This right here was a visit trying to get that young person to clear their head.
Yep.
Just what has happened has already happened. You can't unchange it. Let it go. The only pitch in the world that matters is this one coming up.
Clark swinging, pops it up, close to us, right over our heads, up on the roof, and it's 2-2.
The prize fighter Mike Tyson had a quote one time saying, "Everybody's got a plan till they get hit in the face."
Yeah.
And you know, there goes one.
Yeah, high and deep to left field. See you later. Mackenzie Clark with a 2-run home run. Tigers are blowing this one open.
And this is what I'm talking about having a plan till you get hit in the face. Kenny was a very confident pitcher in inning 1. And now in inning 2, she's given up 4 runs. There's nobody out, and she's in a world of hurt. And as you said, Clemson is on the verge of blowing this one wide open.
So Mackenzie Clark hits her 6th home run of the season. RBIs number 16 and 17. That got out of here in a hurry.
Yes, it did.
The wind's blowing in that direction. The wind could have been blowing straight in that direction, and that still would have gotten out.
And now Maddie Moore steps in, and she had 2 home runs on Wednesday night. You see the wind there. Camera crew doing its usual outstanding job.
Yeah, Moore walked and scored back in the first. And if
There's
you
Johnny Ballgame. Anytime they show him, Mark, I got to mention him because he goes home and takes notes.
Sends you an email with detailed feedback after the games. That one's hit hard as well, back up the middle. Moore will take a big turn around first, and she's going to slide into second base with a double. That is 5 consecutive hits to start off the second inning for Clemson.
And that's a hustle double right there. The one thing I really, really like about Maddie Moore is she knows how to play this game. She saw this. Nobody sent her on this. She saw that ball was hit to the backhand side of the center fielder, and she never put her brakes on. And now Valerie Cagle steps in. It does not get any easier.
Cagle swinging at the first pitch, hits one out high and deep towards center field, all the way back to the wall. Smith will catch it right at the wall. The runner will advance to third base.
She got under that one, but she hit it all the way to the T and Tiger out there on the right center wall. And Maddie Moore was very, very easy for her to tag up and move. She could stand out there on the base with confidence because she knew even if the ball was dropped, she could score with no problem from second base.
So Cagle just missed the homer. And It looks like we've got another mound visit coming, which must mean there's going to be a pitching change.
Yes, there's going to be a change. Has to be. If you make that second visit, you gotta go. Let's see what we're doing here now. We got a lot of people talking.
Well,
now.
she doesn't want to cross the white line, which now she has, which I think makes the mound visit official.
And the umpire did a good job of holding her to be sure that's what she was doing.
Yep. So there will be a new pitcher in the circle for Bryant. Tigers have already plated 4 runs here in the second and looking for more. Gex.
G. Gex.
New pitcher in the circle for the Bryant Bulldogs, Josie Gex.
Yep, she comes here, had very little work so far for the Bulldogs. She's worked 3 2/3 innings this year, got an ERA of 7.64. She's about to get the education of a lifetime working against this lineup. She'll learn a lot today.
Caroline Jacobson steps in for the Tigers, lines the first one foul. That is Maddie Moore down on third base. Again, she advanced on the Valerie Cagle drive to center field that was caught. So there's 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Clemson's already scored 4 runs on 5 hits this inning to run this lead up to 5, looking for more.
And I want folks to understand, I'm not kidding or speaking lightheartedly. The sophomores out there in the mound now facing probably the best hitting lineup she's ever faced.
Yes.
So here's an opportunity for her to learn a lot. I mean, she's got to act like the game's 0-0. She can't score for Bryant, so she's got to go in there and pitch and try to hold things where they are right now. It's not going to be easy. It may not happen, but she's got a chance to learn a lot about how to pitch and survive in these type of environments right here today.
The off speed, Jacobson pops one up out toward left. Fee will grab it. And some aggressive base running by Maddie Moore plates the 7th run for the Tigers. So good job of hitting there by Jacobson.
She did what she had to do. You got to tip your hat to Gex because she got her to chase a changeup, hit a routine fly ball, but with a runner right there on third base, it turns into a sacrifice fly and an RBI and 1 more run for the Tigers, and now they've put up 5 in this inning.
Leah Logaleo, who already has a hit and an RBI to show for her efforts today. Would love to get the carousel on the base paths going again for Clemson here in the second. Logaleo hammers one out towards center field. Smith right there for the catch. The Clemson Tigers 5 runs on 5 hits here in the second, and none bigger than this one. Mackenzie Clark hits her 6th home run of the season.
There's Nick French, the head coach at Bryant. I knew him when he was a baby coach.
No.
Yes, he worked as a volunteer assistant out at the University of Arizona and at the University of Georgia. I met Nick out when I used to make a lot of appearances speaking at coaching clinics and whatnot. And I was also a member of the summer camp staff at the University of Arizona, where I spent some time with him. And he's now in his 5th year with the Bryant Bulldogs. Good to see Nick. I've not seen him in a long time.
Mackenzie McAloon is up for Bryant. Fee is scheduled to bat after her, then back to the top of the order with Jenna Gardner. She fouls that one off of her ankle. That had to hurt.
Yep.
Takes a little time to walk it off.
Now you talk about working your way up the ladder, use Nick as an example. When he first broke in as a coach, his forte was being an excellent batting practice pitcher.
Oh, okay.
He was a former men's fast pitch player, and he could wheel it in there and give athletes good at bats during batting practice.
That one just over the outstretched glove of Logaleo, and that's another leadoff hit for Bryant. So McAloon reaches first. Boy, Logaleo, maybe she mistimed her jump. The ball kind of came off the bat a little funny.
It did. It just outran her, I think, a little bit.
I think so, too.
But that's the last thing you want to do after putting up a 5 spot. Is what you want to do now if you're Reagan Spencer is you want to give your team a shutdown. We're going to have a pinch runner coming out there at first base. Number 12, Faith Valenzuela.
So Valenzuela comes on to pinch run for McAloon. She's the catcher, so get her in the dugout. Conserve those legs. And Olivia Fee steps in. Fee was 0 for 3 in her game earlier today against Jacksonville. Batting .250 now on the season. And that one hits her. She was running up in the box, hits her right on the arm, and all of a sudden, Bryant's got something going here in the top of the third.
This is definitely not what you want to do if you're Reagan Spencer.
Actually, that caught her leg. I thought it hit her in the arm.
No, it got her leg. And it just skimmed it. But it did hit her. This is a good job right here. Valerie Cagle going over and talking to her pitcher. Just seeing if it needs a little help, calming down, whatever. Here to help you. Get us a ground ball, we'll get you an out. Work our way out of this.
It's Jenna Gardner who had that line drive double to lead off the game and came around to score.
Yes, she did.
The hardest hit ball of the game by a mile so far for Bryant. Looks at ball 1. Shows bunt, takes a strike.
Gardner looks like a softball player and looks like a shortstop. Already got her uniform dirty. Steps in that box, no nonsense. Drives the ball from the right side.
Strike 2.
That was a good pitch. Spencer needs to hit her own personal reset button right now because she's angry with herself. And you can't play this game and kick yourself in the backside at the same time. You cannot do that. She needs to hit her reset button and go out there and just, she knows she's a good pitcher. She should just remind herself of that and go about her business.
Two count with 2 runners on. One's hit out towards center. Mackenzie Clark makes the play. And if she would have kept running and the runner would have broken from second, it would have been close to third base.
She might
That's
could
how
have
fast
run and
she
tagged
is.
her.
I was thinking that she might just keep on running it back to the infield.
She had a head of steam up. But Mackenzie Clark makes the tough play look easy and make the outstanding catch just look only halfway difficult. She is a prolific outfielder.
Olivia Smith had a single off Reagan Spencer's glove.
Yep.
And then ended up stealing a base back in the first.
And Mark, I know people get tired of hearing me talk about Mackenzie Clark and what she can do as a 5-tool player, but the problem is you just don't see many of those. She does everything very well. She runs well, throws well, feels well, can hit for power, hit for average, steal bases. I mean, come on. You know, but Clemson's got a lot of stars on this ball club, but that is one that people need to really watch.
Down toward third. And ball just a little foul.
Yeah.
Davenport had made a great play, was going to go get the lead runner at third base.
Yes, she had.
Ball was just foul.
Yep. And yep, it was just foul.
So the 0-2 count on Smith. Let's see if she goes right after her. Smith stays alive.
Yeah, you got to hammer the strike zone now when you with a slapper that's 0-2, or you can work way out and see if she'll chase one. But a lot of times when you do that, you end up double crossing yourself, and they'll get something cheap.
Two runners on. The 0-2 pitch hit down the right field line, just foul. Not by much. So pretty good at bat from Olivia Smith. She's still behind in the count, but holding her own.
Yeah, that's when caught me in mid-sneeze. I think it was down in the inside part of the plate right there, and she almost flipped that thing into right for a RBI single.
This is outside. Hyatt keeps it in front of her. It couldn't possibly be the pollen, Scott, that's bothering you, right? You would be the only person in the upstate of South Carolina being impacted by the massive amount of pollen.
I have a great amount of empathy for everybody about the pollen, but the person that really worries me the most about it is me. And it kills me.
Yes. You and many, many others.
Yep. I know I'm not in the boat by myself.
Do we get pollen pay? Is this something?
I don't think so.
When you can actually see the pollen in the air, does that raise our rates at all?
I'll have to check our contracts.
Okay. Get back to me on that.
I will.
Spencer.
She has worked herself. Smith has worked herself right back into this
She
at
has.
bat.
It's been a good at bat for her.
Excellent at bat. 2-2 count.
Slaps another one foul. Again, she's only coming into this game, only had 4 plate appearances. She's now 4 for 5 on the season, so she's batting .800. Would love to raise that if she could get on base again.
Well, she is battling away here.
That was hit out towards second, caught, and dives over to the bag at second base for the unassisted double play. Maddie Moore with the grab, dives behind the runner, barely beats her to the bag, and Reagan Spencer gets out of it. Let's look at this one more time.
Yep. And
as good of a defensive play as you'll see today. Tigers up by 6. So it appears that the top of the third is not over. They went and did a review of the double play, and they're saying that the runner got back before Maddie Moore could get to the bag. They literally just made the ruling. Look at this great camera work right here. Let's see if that finger gets in before the glove gets there.
nothing's touching yet.
So close.
Nothing touching yet. Oh, they must have saw something that was a lot more definitive than we did, because it's supposed to be definitive before you overturn the call.
Yeah, it was literally as close as it could possibly be, but there are now 2 outs, and Alex Hudson steps in. She struck out her first time up. And Bryant would like to try and get a couple of runs across here in the top of the third, start clawing back into this one. So they have new life.
Yep, but there are 2 outs in the inning now.
Hudson fouls it away. Hudson did have a hit in Bryant's game earlier today, their 4-2 win over Jacksonville. So again, we're still in the top of the third, even though we told you the top of the third was over before we went to that commercial break. Not so fast. Let's hit over towards short. Logaleo knocks it down. That was going to be a very difficult throw across the diamond at first base. We'll see how they score it, but now the bases are full of Bulldogs.
And that could almost go as a hit, because I don't know if she throws a runner out anyway.
You're scoring that one an error.
But she definitely, I was going to say, she definitely took her eye off the ball. And so I think that error is a very good call in that particular spot.
They put an error up on the scoreboard. We'll see if that's how it goes into the books as well. And now Madison Fitzgerald has a chance with one swing of the bat to make this a whole new ball game. So an inning we thought was over. Bryant now has a chance to do something big, put up a crooked number. But Spencer coming right after Fitzgerald. She hit into that weird 5-3-5 double play to end the first inning.
Well, she didn't mean to.
Nope. Just gets a piece, stays alive. Bryant scored 1 in the first. Tigers countered with 2 in the bottom of the first and then 5 in the bottom of the second. Good cut from Fitzgerald.
Yeah, got just a little bit of that one.
That was the 48th pitch from Reagan Spencer. Check swing. Down toward third base.
Held up on it.
They say she did not go, so the appeal goes unanswered. It's now 1-2.
As you may ask, why do they ask the third baseman? It is because on the three-man crew, the first base umpire is over in the slot and cannot really get as good an angle as did the bat past the plate.
Well, he made the right call. It looks like she did not go.
Yep. Making Spencer throw a lot of pitches.
They are. This is pitch number 51. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Reagan Spencer, with her 4th strikeout, gets out of a very difficult inning here in the top of the 3rd. Clemson's rolling. They're up by 6.
I'll just let you take it.
Yeah. There's my guy, Johnny Ballgame, the head coach of the Clemson Tigers, the guy who did the upload of this program and has got it in the right direction. Veteran coach. He has played in big games for a long time. And to cap it all off, that is one of the best guys in the world, John Rittman, right there. He has done a super job for the Clemson Tigers, and I want to tip my hat to everybody that was a part of the upload. I know we talk about it a lot, but it's been a remarkable upload of this program.
Oda, Hyatt, McClesh due up here in the 3rd as the Tigers try to add to their 6-run lead. Oda 0 for 1 here in this game. Love to reach base. Put some pressure on the Bryant pitcher, Josie Gex, who's done a good job since she came in relief.
And something you don't see every day, Hyatt's on deck. And Oda and Hyatt were high school teammates.
That's right.
And down at Buford High School, down in Gwinnett County, probably about an hour and 5 minutes away from here.
Oda got a piece of that one.
You ever been to Buford, Georgia?
Used to live near Buford, Georgia. I lived in Sewanee, Georgia for about 15 years.
How about that?
So
now?
Buford right up the road.
There you go. So you know of what I speak.
I do. Boy, that was like the ultimate off-speed pitch.
She fought that one off, and she had time to think about it too, because it was slow getting there, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's where your brain like clicks and resets.
Oh,
That's got to be hard to get a piece of something coming up that slow.
Oh, that was a good job of fouling that pitch off.
It's high, 3-2. Logan Kamal, the former pitcher for the Tigers, also went to Buford High School with them.
Yep. There's a name.
Lived in my neighborhood in Sewanee, so there you go. For a long time. 3-2 pitch. Oda lines one to Paul Antonio at second for out number 1. That ball was hit hard.
It was hit sharp. That was Courtney. Paul Antonio.
So that brings up JoJo Hyatt. She singled to start the 2nd inning, which ended up being the explosion of 5 hits and 5 runs. It's right in there, strike 1.
JoJo Hyatt, the first couple of years she was here at Clemson, caught a lot of softball, spent a lot of time behind the plate. I know she was very, very happy with the arrival of Abby Vieira to help tote the load behind the plate. I'm pretty sure that we'll see Vieira in game 2.
Yeah, I was going to say the same.
Behind the plate.
Would be my guess.
John Rittman resting the legs of his catchers.
And another single for JoJo Hyatt, so she's 2 for 2.
She's having a good year swinging the bat.
Hits one right between first and second.
She came into this game hitting .395 with those 2 hits. In this game, she may have pushed herself above 400.
Allie McClesh. 1 for 1 with a bunt single. She stole a base, came around to score, swings through that one.
When slappers swing, they always have the tendency of bringing their head, what I call swinging her head right out of the play.
Yeah.
Her head follows the front shoulder and she doesn't see the ball as well. That's just something that slappers have to learn to control. And I hope everybody knows by now, when we say a slapper, we're talking about somebody whose hitting approach is doing the run slap thing, where she's actually moving when she makes contact.
Gex resets.
In most cases, Miklish, all she wants just to put the ball on the ground and run like the devil. That's it, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's it.
She looks at strike 2.
That was a good pitch.
Tigers 21-1 on the season. 3-0 in the ACC after sweeping Syracuse last weekend. We'll be back to ACC play next weekend. As McClesh fouls that one away.
The Cavaliers come into town for 3. Tigers opened up last weekend in the conference and swept Syracuse. And after the 3-game set with Virginia, when it comes to conference play, Clemson then hits the road for the first time this year.
McClesh chops one up the middle. Good play by the shortstop.
That was an excellent play by Gardner, but staying with it and just being sure she got an out. She almost got herself into a jam, and it worked out better because I think she would have had to settle to try to get the runner at first. But as it turned out, because of her momentum, she was able just to keep running, get the out. That is a nice play by the shortstop.
Reedy Davenport jumps on the first pitch, hits it up against the wall in left field. They're going to send JoJo Hyatt to the plate. Here's the play. She's going to slide in safely. And that's the second hit of the game and third RBI of the game for Reedy Davenport.
Yep, and that was Miklish coming in. They had forced JoJo out at second
that's right.
base.
Thank you.
So it was that set of legs that you saw coming around that base a million miles an hour. They did everything right, relaying the ball in, and Miklish just outran the play. Could have been a little bit better throw from the relay person to the catcher, but I don't think they had a chance to get Miklish, because once she gets going, she's a handful.
First pitch to Clark is outside, so thanks for the correction there. That was McClesh scoring the 8th run of the game for the Tigers, stretching that lead to 7. Mackenzie Clark back in, hit a 2-run homer her last time up. Ball gets away from the catcher, and Davenport trots over to third.
Want to point out that the Tigers now find themselves up by 7 with the 8th run out at third base. And the reason that's important in the sport of softball, if a team is winning by 8 runs or more after 5 full innings of play, the game is over. Clark could not resist right there, Mark. That changeup got up there. She reloaded and took a hack at it.
Yeah, Clemson's already run-ruled 8 opponents this season. So that's definitely in play as we approach the middle innings.
Pretty good crowd assembling today.
Clark hits one to short. Scooped up by Gardner. Throw over to first is in time, but the Tigers have a couple of hits. The big one, the run-scoring double by Reedy Davenport. We're off to the 4th inning. Reagan Spencer's done a pretty good job in the circle so far.
Yep. She's thrown a lot of strikes. She's got herself in a bind last inning, but worked out of it. But you see, she's effective getting strikeouts and getting ground balls. Been a couple of fly balls, but not many. She scattered 3 hits over 3 innings of work. And I know she was very frustrated with herself at one point last inning. And I used to tell my players all the time, particularly pitchers, that even the greatest of athletes are not coordinated enough to pitch and kick themselves in the backside at the same time. So you got to decide what you're going to do. You're going to pitch, or you're going to be mad at yourself. And I think that, Reagan is a perfectionist, just like a lot of pitchers are. And she got upset with herself, but she worked herself right out of it.
It's Morgan Tesser on as a pinch hitter, and she's behind 1-2 in the count.
I know I've said it a lot, but I think it always merits saying Clemson has 4 pitchers in their dugout that 90% of the Division I teams in the country would love to have as their number 1. Now think about that.
That's impressive.
I mean, yes. And I mean, they have and this is the way the game's evolved. Back in my day when I first started in this, if you had 2 pitchers, you were rich. And there you see Reagan Spencer dismisses the hitter. That's strikeout number 5. See, this ball just paints the outside corner. No doubt about it. But the depth of hitting has gotten so good in college softball that you've got to have that 3 and 4 and 5 pitchers at your access. And Coach Rittman and his crew has done a great job of putting that together.
Another pinch hitter now, the freshman Ashley Pierce swings at the first one. That foul ball just outpaces Valerie Cagle.
Now, Pierce has just about become automatically one of my favorite players in college softball, because if anybody noticed while they were looking at the package that brought her to the plate, she is from Hicksville,
nice,
New York. And you're not going to believe this, Mark, but people have actually accused me of being from Hicksville.
I'm stunned by this.
Well, you should be. I didn't think I had a New York accent.
There's a little bit in there.
Yeah.
You haven't completely washed it out of your system yet. That's your young age.
But I love that, though. Hicksville.
Yeah, that's great. 1-2 to Pierce. Just misses. So Spencer's had at least 1 strikeout every inning. She had 1 in the first. She had back-to-back to end the second. She had 1 in the third. And 1 here already in the fourth for a total of 5. And count is now full. Good eye from Pierce.
That was just off the plate, I guess.
Fouled away.
Big swing.
Clemson Classic going on all day today and all day tomorrow. This is game 3 of the day today. Bryant lost to Jacksonville 4-2 earlier in the opener. UNCG beat Jacksonville 3-0 right before this game started. And 30 minutes after this one ends, Clemson will be taking on UNC Greensboro. And you'll be stuck with me and Scott again. Well, you'll be stuck with me. It's always a pleasure to have Scott.
Let's not go there.
You see on the ACC network itself on Wednesday, Tigers will be having that midweek game hosting Charlotte. And that is the first walk of the day.
Yeah, you didn't want to do that.
Not with the big lead. Looks like we'll have a pinch runner coming in now for Pierce. That'll be Tristan Salvador. Well, they're keeping me hopping with all these changes.
Oh, yes, both coaches.
That's now Salvador on first base. Hannah Cochran will be up. She struck out her first time up. So Spencer had a 1-2-3 second inning, but she was in trouble from the drop in the first. Gave up that 1 run. Ended up having the bases loaded in the third, and now has a runner on base again here in the fourth. Actually, another pinch hitter. This is going to be Erica Barley. Everybody gets to pinch hit this inning. Back to the mound. Spencer to Moore at second. That was kind of an awkward little play, and Spencer had to hesitate a little bit to give Moore time to get over to the bag.
And give Cagle time to get out of the way. That was kind of a swinging bunt, so Cagle crushed in to see if she needed to make the play. Maddie Moore did a great job of reading that and getting over there to first base. It was almost like a 1-4 put out on a bunt.
So Mackenzie McAloon, the catcher, who singled to lead off the third inning, is now up with a runner in scoring position, and Reagan Spencer would love to get an out here and get through 4 innings.
Isn't that the truth?
Tigers looking for win number 22 of the season in 23 games, man. It's crazy to even say out loud.
Yeah. Not even out of the first, just barely out of the first week of March.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Clemson number 4 in the country in the USA Today NFCA poll, as well as the ESPN USA softball poll. They let you vote in any of those?
No.
Okay. Liner toward third. Davenport snatches it. And Reagan Spencer gets out of it again here in the top of the 4th. Tigers looking for some more runs as they come to the plate. We'll look at one more shot of Davenport making the play. Off to the bottom of the 4th, you see the UNC Greensboro squad. They'll be taking on Clemson right around 5:30 here today. And a couple of future Clemson softball players in the stands, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
Soaking in the sights.
Yeah.
She's got the plain M&Ms. You like plain M&Ms or peanut M&Ms more?
I'm plain. Yeah,
I am too. I like the plain.
I'm a simple man.
She looks quite content with those.
She does. And her friend or her sister or whoever she is, she's got her.
She's got the Skittles.
Yeah, got her bow in her hair too working. She's at the game enjoying it. It's a beautiful day. And I cannot tell you how wet and damp and just gray it was this morning when we woke up. As I was taking my helicopter in, I just couldn't believe the clouds. Did they give you a helicopter?
They did not. That's reserved just for you. That's in your contract.
No,
but
that's
mine.
not true. I let Coach Sweeney use my helicopter.
Oh, you do? Okay,
yeah.
very nice.
If I'm not using it. Well, there goes my job.
So Abby Stewart on to pinch hit for Maddie Moore. Everybody gets to pinch hit. I think, what do we have? 3 by Bryant in the last inning. It looks like there'll be another pinch hitter on deck for the Tigers as well. So we're here in the bottom of the 4th. Stewart hits the first one back up the middle for a single.
Hit that sharp and right back up the middle.
So Clemson's got the 7-run lead. If they can stretch it to 8 and then hold Bryant in the top of the 5th, they can run rule this one out. And if they want to score a run this inning, that's a great way to start.
It sure is. And Stewart didn't waste any time. She just drove it right back up the middle, and that brings up Kaya Keller to pinch hit. She's hitting .231 on the season and limited swings.
And Keller will pinch hit for Valerie Cagle.
She plays a little first base for the Tigers. Dugout favorite. Always in a good mood, it seems. She's only had 13 at-bats on the year. This is her 14th. It's hard to stay sharp, but again, this Tiger, what I call their front 9, is so just so strong. I mean, there's not really a space to set somebody down to get other people to work, and that's why I really tip my hat to the whole coaching staff of Clemson, is how they keep this entire team on the same track. And we see right there, Keller hits a sharp ball that the first baseman gets the 3 unassisted, and the base runner had to do everything she could to get to second base to beat that tag.
Marcel with a really nice play.
Yeah, and you see once she stepped on first, the force play was off at second base, so the shortstop had to make the tag, and she got in there just before the tag of Gardner. So give Keller credit for moving the runner. And now we got another pinch hitter in there with Marina Knowles.
The freshman from Hawkinsville, Georgia, will pinch hit for Caroline Jacobson.
Yep. And Knowles is hitting 400 on it. She's got 4 hits in her 10 at-bats.
5 RBI as well.
There you go. That's a good advertisement to get in the ball game right there. Rookie. And I'm ready, Coach. Just get me in there, man. I'm ready.
Everybody's getting a pinch hit, man.
Yeah.
Maybe you or I'll get up here in just a second. Well, maybe you.
Well, no, I refuse to hit now.
So if Johnny Ballgame had to pinch hit you or me in a situation, who's going in?
You are, because I'm not
think
going.
it's me?
I'm not going.
You're not going?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to let them make a fool out of me. I can do that on my own.
Coach Rittman makes the call to me. I am there for him. That's all I'm going to say. That one's foul down the third base line. Land out of play.
That's like when they asked me, did I want to, like when I was in high school, did I want to go in and play tailback for one play? I just simply said,
No, sir.
Nope. Not unless you want
My
me
knee's
to.
acting up right
Not
now.
unless you want me to fumble the ball, because I'm going to throw it to them. Because they don't care about me. They just want the ball. Missed with that change up. Yep.
Our producer in our ear saying it's so slow it doesn't even click the radar gun. I've never seen more. It's like an off speed of an off. It's like a double off speed.
Yeah. But,
Payoff pitch. Hit out towards left field. Fee makes the grab for out number 2.
she does. You know something that we've failed to talk about and we should be ashamed of ourselves is Gax has done a pretty good job since she's come in this game.
She has.
She's now in her 3rd inning of work, and she's only given up 1 run. And I just think that needs to be noted. Because she came in and inherited a mess. Got
Ainsley Houston now. 4 straight pinch hitters here in the bottom of the 4th.
And when you see Ainsley Houston, a lot of times it's the pinch run. She's from Grantville, Georgia.
Tigers would love to push 1 more run across and then hold Bryant where they're at in the top of the 5th.
And
put this one in the books.
And I'll bet you if they took a poll of people in the stands, they would love for them to score a run too.
Houston looking for her first hit of the season. She may have it right there. Out of here. 2-run homer, pinch hit style.
Yeah, if you're going to get your first hit of the year, that is the way you do it. Houston, she had a grand total of no at-bats before then. She is 1 for 1 with a home run and 2 RBI. And the immediate question is, why is she not playing every day? Of course, I'm kidding.
Hits it over the fans out there. Gets the hug at home plate. Well deserved. Gives the Tigers a 10 spot now. They're on top 10-1. And that run rule is in effect. So a great 2-run homer for Houston. And hey, is it going to surprise you if we have another pinch hitter?
Not at all.
All right, let's do it.
It's going to be
Morgan Johnson.
Morgan Johnson out of Evans, Georgia. Morgan's going to step in there. And again, limited opportunities. She's hitting 375. She's 3 for 8 on the year. How about that for Houston? Just drove it out of here.
I almost said, Houston, we do not have a problem.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say.
Well, you could have done that.
Okay. I missed my chance.
Yes, you did.
I felt like it would be too cheesy. I didn't want to ruin the moment
Well,
for her. It's a big moment.
Not compared to some of the things you say.
Yeah, that's true.
So
It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
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 Tigers rolling here. They will play 1 more game this afternoon against UNC Greensboro. That one's slated to start right around 5:30.
Yep. We'll be right back here, and I'll bet you a few more people pour into here after work to watch the second game of this doubleheader today.
That's been a nice crowd considering the strange mid-afternoon start time on a Friday. And fans continuing to trickle in, filling up the berm.
And for those who had to travel, it started out, it wasn't going to be a very pleasant day to travel. That ball's lifted out there toward the left center gap, and that's going to be a double. Morgan Johnson just keeps on hitting.
Yep, she's now 4 for 9 on the season. That was a good job. Didn't really even get that on the barrel. It shows you how strong she is.
Well, she is very strong. She was having a great fall back in 2021 when she tore her knee up. Missed all of last year. And she is a powerful hitter. She's really working herself back into playing shape with that knee. But I think she's just a great hitter. That brings up JoJo Hyatt.
She's 2 for 2 today. Tigers now have 10 runs on 12 hits. They have scored every inning. 2 in the first, 5 in the second, 1 in the third. 2 runs so far here in the fourth. Run rule is in play. They can hold this lead to 8 or more runs after the top of the fifth. They will move to 22-1 on the season.
Mary Karen Wheat, the pitching coach, out there for a visit. Not quite sure what they're discussing, but it may be just to settle down. You've done very well. I think they're having a good chat. Everybody nodding in approval and agreement.
Yeah, I mean, Gex has done pretty well. Less the 2-run homer, but even with that, I mean, she's come in and
this inning, became unraveled to her just a little bit, but she definitely came in and stopped all of that bleeding in the second inning.
Hyatt hits one out to short. Gardner's done a good job today at shortstop. Scoops it up, makes a throw to first. It's the 2-run home run from Houston to give the Tigers a 9-run lead. Easily the best crew in the business helping us out here on the softball broadcast today. How many of the people in there are dedicated to Scott's mic and making sure you hit the dump button if he starts to say things? You got like 2 or 3 people that are always on the lookout?
That's not necessary.
And then wanted to mention again here, we were showing these folks in the last half inning. That is Jenna Lee Goodwin. That's Wes Goodwin, the defensive coordinator's wife, the defensive coordinator, of course, from the football team, and their 2 beautiful girls, Emma and Allie, season ticket holders.
Yep.
Good to see them on board, and special shout out to David Hood.
Yep, and they're
helping me out with that.
Good friends with the Rittmans. That's Lori Rittman is usually sitting there. That's Coach Rittman's wife, confidant, boss, nanny, keeper, whatever you want to call it. She basically runs the entire Rittman family.
All right, there's so many defensive changes that I think my head would explode to try and keep up with all of them. So we're going to show them all to you. And we have a new pitcher in the circle. It's Rachel Gibson. It's going to get some action for the Tigers.
Yep. And
it's her first appearance of the season.
If I'm not mistaken, this is her first appearance. Yeah, that scorecard right now looks like a...
Yeah, mine does too.
Yeah.
I've been trying to keep up with everything. It's making my head hurt.
And I can't imagine what the umpire scorecard looks like.
And this will be Gibson's first appearance of the season, so she'll get some action. I'm just going to wait for them to load it all up into the computer, and then we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
More importantly, Tigers with a 9-run lead. If they can hold it to 8 or above, they will be victorious. Gibson, the sophomore from Ringgold, Georgia, just outside of Chattanooga, a PRTM major. She is, look at that big smile on her face. She is excited to be out in the circle.
This is your chance. You see a couple of other changes. You got Keller over there at first base. I think I see Odo's checked into the outfield.
So the first pitch from Gibson. Can close the book now on Reagan Spencer. She went 4 innings, will be the pitcher of record, had 5 strikeouts along the way. Misses outside.
The one thing you want to do if you're coming in here in relief, if you're Gibson, is you want to pound the strike zone. Don't want to walk anybody. I coached a lot of outstanding people and players from the Ringgold, Georgia area over my career. That is a hotbed for producing college players. The Chattanooga, Ringgold area.
Yep.
A lot of good softball comes out of that area.
So there's yet another pinch hitter. I want to say that like 8 of the last 10 batters between the two teams have been pinch hitters, but this is Alyssa Garabedian, the sophomore from Rhode Island. That was right in there, strike 2. Gibson's first action of the season. Would love to lock this one down for the Tigers.
Counts run full. Now, this is not what you want to do. As I said, you want to pour it in the strike zone.
Misses high. And Garabedian heads down to first base.
Yeah. And that ball was just up and out. You gotta think that Gibson's adrenaline is just pumping, you know, right now. Here's her chance. She's at home. She just needs to do what she does, stay within herself.
Megan Skousen now on to pinch hit. Looks at ball 1. Crowd didn't like that one.
Well, what happens is when you struggle with your location, you don't get the benefit of the doubt from the home plate umpire. I'm talking about in general, every day. So I don't know if this helps you or not, Mark, but the Tiger outfield now consists of Knowles in left, Oda in center, and Howell in right.
One's right in there for the strike. Yeah, I'm playing catch up now as well.
Yeah.
I think JoJo Hyatt is the only person on the field who was on the field in the top of the 4th to come out again in the top of the 5th. He's inside corner 2-2.
That's what you got to do, is pump them arms and throw strikes. You got Maddie May over at third base. Got Houston.
He's going to roll foul. Smart play by May to not
Yep.
try to run in there and pick it up, because there's no way she would have converted that to an out.
No, she sure wouldn't have. So I was saying, you got May that is checked in, Madison May that is checked in at third base. Houston's out at short. Hiller playing second base. Keller over at first. And as we said, we got the new pitcher that's checked in, Rachel Gibson. And JoJo Hyatt still in the game. Catchers, they just live that life, you know. But she'll probably either DH or sit next game, and we'll see Vieira back there. Counts run full again.
Gibson throws that one in there. It's going to roll out to short. Double clutch, throw over to first for the out. So took a really bad hop on Houston. She kind of had to do the double clutch before she made the throw, but that's an all-important out number 1.
Yes, it is. The transition from the glove to the hand was a little choppy right there, as you see. Yep, okay, now I'm ready. And they get the out. And as you said, that was the main thing. Get an out.
Hey, Scott, this is going to come as a surprise to you, but we have a pinch hitter in the game. It's Gracie Bishop, the freshman from Fayetteville, New York.
This thing's like a hockey game now. They're just changing lines on us every time up and down.
Looking at my scorecard right now would make your head explode.
Well, let's not do that. I don't want to have to clean up.
Don't peek over here. It's bad. It's ugly. And I probably missed something. Thank you to all the sports information staff here at Clemson for keeping me honest.
These folks work really, really hard behind the scenes to put out a good product for people to watch and enjoy, and they just don't get enough credit.
You saw our crew back in mission control. They help keep us straight as well.
Yep.
Gibson's ahead in the count. 2 outs away from locking this one down for the Tigers. Misses high. As you see Nick French. Bryant lost earlier today 4-2 to Jacksonville. Swung on and missed. The first strikeout of the season for Rachel Gibson, the 6th for Tiger pitching.
And guess what? I think we may either. This is going to be Allison Tessman hitting. I believe I've got that right.
It is Tessman. You seen that Oprah Winfrey meme where she's like, you get a car, you get a car. Everybody gets a pinch hit. It's the same scenario here. Let's clear the bench. And Tessman, the last hope to keep things alive for Bryant. They've got to cut this lead to 7 runs or less. The Tigers will walk away with the victory. Gibson misses inside.
You got 2 outs. The game's in your pocket. You want to pump strikes in here. And unless I'm missing something, this is her first at bat of the year. I could be mistaken, but I can't find anything.
Ball's hit right back to Gibson. Offer glove over to short. Throw to first to end the inning and lock this one down for the Clemson Tigers. So Rachel Gibson pitches around the walk. The Clemson Tigers will win this one 10-1. Bryant drops to 3-8 on the season. They lost both of their games today as part of the Clemson Classic. Clemson Tigers moved to 22-1. Some final thoughts from you, Scott.
Well, Bryant came in here very game, jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the first inning, and then the Tigers just kind of put the brakes on all of that and just kind of had their way for the last 4 at-bats. They did not bat in the 5th. You see that 2-5, 1-2, and now they move on now to face UNC Greensboro here in a little less than an hour.
That game will start here at 5:30. If you'd like to jump back on with Scott and myself, for all the cast and crew here in Clemson, South Carolina. For my partner, Scott Whitlock, I'm Mark Childress saying so long. Tigers win this one via run rule. Your final score, 10-1.